something stupid is being done again today. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Paige, and if you're confused, I have a series on this channel called Doing Something Stupid. There's a whole playlist of videos now where I basically just get myself to do, where I basically just challenge myself to do reading things that are outside of my comfort zone. And it's usually, you know, like read 3 or 4 of these books in this random genre that you never read, or read this genre for 24 hours straight, you know? Things that are kind of stupid for me to do to myself when I could just read them in a normal way, but I read them in a crackhead way. Welcome to this series. We're doing it again this month. Today we're tackling Wattpad reads! Now, if you've been living under a rock, Wattpad is a glorious platform where anyone can just write series and upload them, and usually people upload like 1 chapter a week, but you can just upload your whole story. It used to be very like B-Tech casual, but a lot of books and things have gotten published off Wattpad now, and Wattpad have started putting paid stories on there, and it's all becoming a lot more professional. So I kind of wish I'd had my YouTube channel back in day when I could have done a really cringy book. However, the types of books that are put on Wattpad are just a different breed of book. It's very hard to explain, but Wattpad books are they're just more cheesy and cliche. So we're gonna read some in today's video. I'd say back when I was like 13 to 15, Wattpad was probably my main platform for reading, especially if it was fan fiction. I love reading fan fiction. I've even written some fan fiction, which you're never gonna see, don't worry. So I went through the teenage fiction and I picked out 2 books. I think I'm gonna do more than 2 in this video, but both of these books have like between 50 and 60 chapters. So I just want to kind of see how long it will take me to get through them before I decide to pick up another one. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do 3. The 2 books that I know I'll be tackling so far are August by Trichology. I low-key chose this just for the title because Taylor Swift has a song called August and I love it, so I kind of wanted to pick this one, even though it's not based on that song whatsoever. So this is like a bad boy bully romance. It was ranked #1 in love, #1 in romance, and #1 in teen fiction, so this person's done very well for themselves, and we'll see what all the hype is about. The summary for this book: if you're the writer on Wattpad, you can pick the cover of your book, the blurb that people see, you can pick absolutely everything about it. This blurb doesn't really tell me anything about the book whatsoever. It's really trying too hard as a blurb, and one of those like really flowery kind of poetry-esque blurbs that tell me nothing. So we'll see how that goes. And the next book I have much higher hopes for because this is a college romance, and this is called Colliding Hearts by Tasha Jade Wrights. This is about a young girl at the University of Southern California, and I believe she's like into journalism, and she kind of just wants to blend in and just cruise through life. And then she gets given an assignment to like write about the football team, and of course there's one guy on the football team that she obviously falls for, and I'm guessing a load of drama occurs. I really like the sound of this one. I think this is the kind of book I would actually read if it was published. But hopefully you'll see when we get more into these books what I mean about how Wattpad just has a vibe. Wattpad is its own genre of book. Do like and subscribe if this video seems interesting, you want to stick around. Obviously stick around for the rest of it. And yeah, I will see you in the next clip. So I started with August. I'm really struggling with this book. And I don't want to be too critical because I'm aware that on Wattpad it's just people uploading books in their free time. It's not professionally edited. It doesn't have the same backing as a published book, so I can't judge it to the same standard. However, even for Wattpad, I'm confused as to why this book is doing so well. I'm sorry, I really don't want to be mean. But this entire book is written in short sentences. Like, literally, it is a sentence, a paragraph break, a sentence, a paragraph break, a sentence. The whole thing. And I have a whole list of notes for you on my phone already. There's just a lot of elements that are an issue in this book. For one thing, the love interest is literally a murderer. He's not even just like a misunderstood bad boy. He is a literal evil murderer. And our main character literally doesn't seem to care about that. She doesn't feel fear around him. She doesn't acknowledge really the fact that he's murdered anyone. She's just kind of okay with it. I don't really vibe with. I really don't like this guy, so kind of don't like where it's going. There's a really big like power difference between the two. he's like got all the money and he's very scary, and she's very much like not in a good headspace. There's a lot of trigger warnings in this book. She tried to commit suicide and he comes and saves her every single time. She is like the worst damsel in distress in the world. So that kind of creates an interesting power dynamic that I'm not really into. So I'm like maybe not even halfway through. I've read quite a bit, but I'm not halfway through yet, and I don't like this. There's also like the girl is like living with her stepmother, and there's a lot of domestic abuse in that relationship that isn't dealt with. And if you're a writer writing on Wattpad and you want to deal with like trigger warning topics, A, list them as trigger warning topics in your blurb. B, actually explore them. Don't just put them in there to like have like a damaged character or just to create some drama in the relationship. Actually, you know, deal with them and have a character that is a complex character because of all these things that she's gone through. You know, don't just have a character that's completely 2D. Sorry, I'm being so mean and I don't want to, because I know that my writing is not particularly great either, but it did really well on Wattpad, so I'm confused. I am once again sitting in front of my bookcase. I really can't do it with August anymore. It's not even that something major has happened that has made me just say no. It's just like the same shit over and over again. I'm sorry, but the writing is awful. I know I said I didn't want to be mean, but it's just still, the entire thing is written in short sentences. The guy, still literally a murderer, and she doesn't trust him and she feels uncomfortable around him, yet I'm supposed to believe in this love story? I'm getting pissed off with it. It is just way too long and nothing happens, and it's really annoying. So I'm moving on to Colliding Hearts, whatever it is it's called. This Wattpad video, I won't lie, it has been the hardest doing something stupid to film, which is weird because I used to be absolutely obsessed with Wattpad. So far the writing of these books is just terrible, the plot is just overdone, and they're just really, really long. I think Wattpad's algorithm maybe promotes books that are longer. I guess that would make sense because they want people to keep using the app and viewing ads, so that definitely makes sense, but I just don't know if I can sit here and read a book with like 60 chapters. And you'd think they'd be like 60 short chapters, but they're not. They're actually decently sized chapters. So far, what I have seen of Colliding Hearts, it is actually written in full sentences and proper prose. Way too many italics have been used, and I don't quite understand what the italics are for, but it seems much more professional. Other than that, I went to the bookstore today because I have no self-control and I wanted to buy some books, and I thought I'd do like a little mini haul for you guys today. Thought I'd share them with you. I don't have enough books to do a full haul, so. The first book I bought is a hard copy of The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I spoke about this in my last video. This is basically a classics version of Dead Poets Society in book form. It is wonderful and amazing and absolutely perfect for the back to school period, so I wanted it. And I like this cover much more than the other cover. I think this looks much more like the kind of book I would want to read. It's also floppy, and this is a really nice edition. I really like it, so I picked it up because I want to read it again, and it's going to be perfect to get me back in the mood for school. The next book I picked up is Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. I have said before that I'm trying really hard to get into classics at the minute, and I'm actually really in the mood for a classic lately. I very rarely get in the mood for classics, but right now it's all I want to read. This is a really short one, and it is a Gothic novel, which again, something I've mentioned on this channel is I love Gothic literature. And this is a very staple Gothic. When I was studying the Gothic, this was one of the ones that was on the like reading suggestions, but I never got round to it. And I just think it'll be really short and one that I think I can get through quite quickly. Kind of had to pick this up. It was only $4.99, what did I have to lose? The third book that I picked up it requires a little bit of explanation, and that is The Wishing Chair Collection by Enid Blyton. These were my favourite books growing up. So this includes The Adventures of the Wishing Chair Again, and more Wishing Chair stories. Growing up, The Adventures of the Faraway Tree and The Wishing Chair Collection were like what I read. Everyone else was reading like Goosebumps and Harry Potter and stuff like that, and I was reading Enid Blyton, specifically The Wishing Chair. The Wishing Chair was my favourite. I honestly just kind of want to take a trip down memory lane and reread them and just kind of have them on my shelf. And the final book I picked up is like a staple fantasy book that everyone owns and I don't, and that is The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I don't really know if I'm in a position to be starting a new fantasy series, and I have been saying lately that trilogies have been really getting on my nerves. But everyone seems to have read this but me. It seems right up my alley. typical like high fantasy novel, has an assassin in it. I love assassins. More books should have assassins. I believe this book our main character is like a child, and then there's like a time jump from this book to the next book in which our main character grows up. So I'm not really in the mood for a middle grade right now, but if the main character grows up, then I think I can hack it. Yeah, I feel like I should have a very staple high fantasy on hand. So yeah, this is the 4 books that I bought today. I just thought I'd share with you the books that I bought today. And now I'm gonna go and start reading the other Wattpad book. Hey guys, so it's been a while and my background is different. I just moved in to uni today, still kind of messing around with some things. Obviously my books aren't in shot, which is unfortunate, but I have this like row of cupboards up here, which is where the shelves are, so I still kind of need to mess around with a few things. I thought I would talk about the book Colliding Hearts because I've made some decent progress. It's definitely better than August. It is actually using 4 sentences, so you know, enjoying it in that sense. It is quite info dumpy, but that's kind of to be expected on Wattpad. I don't think I've ever read a Wattpad book that isn't info dumpy. It has a very generic plot. Basically the plot of this book is that this girl, as an assignment, gets to research the football team and create like a journalistic piece based on her college's football team. But she previously dated a football player and he cheated on her, so now she thinks that all football players are evil and horrible. And of course there's a guy on the team who completely changes her mind and she becomes all of their like girl best friends. This book is really enjoyable to read. I'm enjoying it a lot more than August. I'm getting through it. I won't be DNFing it. I do kind of want to see what happens. However, a lot of the drama in this book so far has been very childish. One of the major like plot points so far has been that our main character and one of her friends have a falling out because the friend saw our main character talking to her ex-boyfriend. And so the friend didn't talk to our main character for like 2 weeks. And didn't even like let her explain or talk to her about it. I just don't think that's very realistic, and if you actually react like that, then that's quite childish. You should at least talk to the person you're mad at first to see if, you know, maybe you got the situation wrong. But I thought I would update you. I'm gonna finish it. I'm sure there'll be bigger drama points and maybe it will be better then. Again, please bear with me with the whole moving background, video, lighting kind of sitch. I'm still figuring it out, but it will get sorted ASAP. So, I got to the smut. I didn't know this had smut in it when I picked it. It was okay. It was your average Wattpad smut, you know? It wasn't anything too special. It was written really quickly and kind of rushed through, and obviously, you know, very unrealistic. It was Wattpad, it was smut, it usually is. So it's fine, I'll live. It was enjoyable to read. I am well over halfway. I think I have maybe 10-15 chapters left. I won't lie, ooh, I found the lighting. I won't lie, I'm a bit tempted to DNF because at this point, just nothing new is happening. It is just long stretches of them like doing family things together and stuff, and it's just a bit meh. I'm not really into it. Yeah, I'm kind of bored. I'll probably finish it, but I really want to read something else today, so I kind of want to finish it just to get this video like off my chest. I don't know what to do. I'll probably finish it because I didn't finish August, so I should finish this one really, shouldn't I? I'll update you probably now when I finish it. If I only have 10-15 chapters left, I'll let you know. I'll keep you updated. Kind of my job here, and I'll see you in the next clip. Right, I finished Colliding Hearts, which means the reading for this video is done. Colliding Hearts was definitely better, but very generic, and I didn't like the epilogue. The epilogue had an absolutely huge time jump, which I didn't think made sense. I think the epilogue would have worked being closer in time to when the story took place than when it actually was. Yeah, it wasn't really my favorite thing in the world, but it wasn't bad. I'll do like a proper rundown of the books in the outro, but yeah, just letting in to let you know that I finished it, and I'll talk to you about it later. Hi friends, I am back. As you saw in the last clip, I finished Colliding Hearts, so I finished both the books now. Definitely be careful when looking at the teen fiction section on Wattpad, and definitely don't go just based on whether it ranked first, because apparently Wattpad's algorithm is a little bit whacked. The ending of Colliding Hearts really let me down, if I'm honest. I thought it was very anticlimactic. There wasn't really any drama in this book whatsoever. It was literally just about two normal college students dating and then continuing to date for the rest of college with no drama or arguments or anything really happening. And I felt really let down because the ending of the book kind of really set itself up for a sequel, and I thought, hey, all the drama will come in the sequel. The sequel I was actually really tempted to read. I thought, hey, a sequel, that they were supposed to be long distance, it really could have worked out, and then it got ruined because the epilogue had this huge time jump to when they were married with kids. The ending was such a huge letdown, and I kind of just feel like absolutely nothing happened in the book and it was a waste of my time. But it was far more enjoyable than August, so I don't really know who this video is helping or what you stand to gain from watching this video, but you know, maybe we could revive Wattpad and then it can get better. They were not good. I did not really have fun filming this video, which is why I know I said in the beginning I wanted to do more than 2, but I've had so little fun reading these books and I want to read an actual fun book that is on my shelf right now. I will not be reading more than 2, I will just be reading these 2 and we're gonna call it a day here. Thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far, I post every Wednesday and Friday, so please subscribe. There's no shortage of bookish content. You're already here, you already made it to this point in the video, you may as well subscribe, or at least comment, we can have a chat. Maybe you could give me some Wattpad recommendations that are actually good. Hopefully this video was slightly enjoyable in some way, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.